We're gonna watch Predator right now, and then we'll get some reaction on the other side.
That's pretty solid audio. That's the first thing that jumped out at me. I had to turn down my my headphones.
I think this is probably be the first Predator that has comic relief. For me,
Predator 2, Danny Glover.
They all had a little bit of levity at some, but I get what you're saying. But there was levity in all of them.
Yeah, I feel like this one, there's going to be some moments where either a woman smirk or be like, "Huh, clever," or whatever. But looks interesting. A lot of nostalgic moments in that trailer. Was that the last part? Was that like something from Aliens? The exoskeleton or whatever that was?
Well, the whole it's set in the
right?
No. They're literally mentioning Wayland Yutani. It's been for the last since Predator 2, it's been with the comic books and the movies, it's been well established that they exist in the same universe, which is why I was pointing out how if you really look at the timeline, the Predators don't come to Earth before 2000 AD, and that's because the Earth was under the protection of the engineer characters from Prometheus, and who in this fictional world created humanity. So that last mech that you saw, that planet, I'm pretty sure, because the character that Elle Fanning is playing is a Wayland Yutani android.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and that's not them trying to be coy or trying to be like Marvel with their, hey, you know that, you recognize. No, it's like them literally saying, yeah, you guys know that we've told you for these last 20, 30 years that they share the same universe. So this is just us extending, giving you a story that's closer to that, because now you have a one that's from the point of view of the Predator. And we've kind of had something like that with Alien vs. Predator 2, but not really. But
is this the second one where we kind of root for the Predator as a hero or anti-hero?
I would say it would be the third film that does that. Again, the two Alien vs. Predator movies. The comics, typically the Predator is not the main threat because they have codes, and they are hunting for sport and fun as well, but they have a code, right? So they're not just bloodthirsty predators like, no pun intended, like our friends, the xenomorphs. So, but overall, it looks good. I'm excited about it because, and I think Killer of Killers and Prey, if you watch them in that successive order, it makes you even more pumped for this because this is world building on a cinematic level, and you don't hardly get that at all with movies. You just don't. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm ready. Prey, Killer of Killers, and then this. I'm almost at a loss for words because it's such a good setup. One sets up the other, and in such grand fashion that I'm just like, I'm along for the ride. I'm just, whatever you do, it's fine. I don't care. Just keep doing whatever it is that's making this suddenly work the way that it's working. So I don't have anything extra to say.
Yeah, and like Dee was saying too, is like this and the Aliens franchises, like they were dead for what, 2000 to 2010-ish, 2015 maybe, a good 15
for a little
years.
while. Because even with the Alien versus Predator,
it wasn't good. But then these last like 5 years, they've really picked up the torch and really took two separate franchises that are in the same universe and actually made them like watchable again, and explored and made the world building better. Added interesting characters, like you said. Killers of Killers was like, did not need to be that good. There was no reason. I didn't expect it at all. I watched it and I was like, why is this good? This doesn't make any sense. Like, does not make it. Like, Prey was dope, but like I didn't expect Killer of Killers to be something on that level. And so now, like, just like Josh said, I'm actually excited for a Predators movie, which I haven't been for in a long time. And even Prey when it first came out, that kind of just kind of came out. We're like, what is this?
I was just going to say that. Yeah. Prey kind of flew under the radar, and then it was released during I think pandemic. They got released. It was one of those films that they went straight to Hulu. Yes, yeah. Thank you, Josh. It went straight to Hulu, and I remember seeing the previews of it, and the scuttlebutt was always, oh, there's a Predator film on the way, but it's not going to be called Predator or whatever, and it's going to be kind of different. And so when I saw the trailer, I remember thinking, because the trailer entered, and you can't tell that it's a Predator film, because I remember the Prey trailer just starts with Nehru, the main character, running from that bear, and then the trailer ends literally with the Predator lifting the bear up in the air and doing his thing. And I wasn't expecting it, and it was a pleasant surprise, just like Killer of Killers. And I feel like they got to bring it in threes. I have no doubt that. Well, I'm not gonna say I have no doubt, but I'm hoping that they bring it all home. If this is to be the third and final of the Trachtenberg era, I hope he goes out with a bang, because this has been probably the most delightful thing in sci-fi Hollywood in the last 3 to 5 years in terms of big budget franchises.
I'd agree with that.
That's not superhero.
What I anticipate is they probably won't count Killer of Killers as a full film or a full installment. So it'll probably be like a side joint, and we probably get one more feature-length film.
I was going to say I had no interest in Prey, and the only reason I watched it is because it was pandemic and I had nothing to do. So Prey wasn't the film that brought me back to the franchise. I was just like, oh, that was interesting. And I don't even want to say Killer of Killers brought me back to the franchise, but I enjoyed it enough to be like, I'm interested to see where they're going to take it, especially what them connecting the previous movies and the characters recently been announced of who potentially or will be returning to the franchise in some form. But like I was out. I'm gonna be honest. I was checking for Predator movies when I'm on a plane, and nostalgic purposes. Like I'll watch a Predator. I always watch the Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator. I'll watch the Predator 2 with Danny Glover. I thought that was pretty cool. But like I've caught Predator movies here and there. I'm just like, okay, I got nothing else to watch. But Prey was interesting, and I was like, oh, that was cool. Different take a little bit, but the same premise overall. But the Killer of Killers is the one where I'm like, oh, that was pretty interesting. Until they announced it, they gave me room for interpretation of what potentially might be happening. And now that we kind of know what's happening, now I'm like, okay, I'm in, right? So we got Arnold back, we got Danny Glover back in some form. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is going to be cool because of how they are starting to move in a certain direction with this recent animation release. So,
yeah. And I think there was one thing that I was incorrect about with identifying that practice that they were doing in Killer of Killers and in Prey, and the taking of Nehru and the Viking Elsa and or Ursa and the others was normal, but it's not. So that's a big deal as well. So seeing now that adds a layer to Danny and to Danny Glover and Arnold Schwarzenegger's characters being there, because they faced the traditional predators, which means that their reputation somehow made it to these bad blood predators, that they defeated them and they came and got them. Because at first, I think that's why they left them out, because they were the only ones that didn't face one of the bad blood predators. And if you notice, the bad blood predators have different technology, bolts from their weaponry instead of energy projectiles, and more melee, and the bone helmets and stuff like that. So in the constant fight with the regular predators, and so that's another layer that they've added, and I think it's going to work out really well.
Yeah, it's dope, man. I think I'm excited. I think that was good. Everybody, thanks for watching us on Reactions to Predators, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.